Today's Japanese slang term is nui fuku. Now this is very similar to something I covered earlier, which was the nui pochi, as nui refers to a stuffed animal, or more commonly nowadays, a plushie. So while a nui pochi is a pouch for your nui fuku is clothing for your nui. In fact, of course, you can have nui fuku and a nui pochi together. You wouldn't want to put your nui in a pochi without any fuku, because then they'd be nude. Haha. Anyway, now this is not usually the clothing that the nui comes with, but rather clothing that you put on the nui to make them a bit oshari. As part of, you might have heard of the term oshikatsu, well this is called nuikatsu in Japanese, just spending time, money, etc. on your nui. And of course your nui is usually a nui of your oshi. So nuikatsu becomes oshikatsu. Heard of two birds, one stone? Well this is a two katsu, one oshi kind of deal in many cases. One important element of nui fuku and why it's kind of taking off is that it helps differentiate your nui from others. Obviously most nuis are mass produced. Yes, some people do make their own, but getting special clothing for your nui can make it stand out and make sure that it's a special one. As a result, many people make the effort to go out and buy clothing, indeed many sets of clothing for their nui, or as special types of oshikatsu, nuikatsu, make their own nui fuku. And I should stress that there is a huge market for this stuff, be it commercially or handmade. Because if you Google nui fuku, the first results that come up are a massive amount of storefronts, including amazon.co.jp. This is not an obscure practice by any means. Indeed, you can see here where somebody dresses up a number of the same nui with different fuku, how that helps differentiate the various nui and make them stand out. As for how long nui fuku has existed as a concept, the oldest hits I could find on Twitter using the term go back to 2013, and yes, that link was active and did link to a picture of a nui in some fuku. By 2014 though, that's when you really start to see a lot of posts come up that have actual images attached to them, so that seems to be like when the boom first occurred. Indeed, Google Trends backs this up. If you look at nui fuku on Google Trends, there are some dashes, little dots back in 2011 or so, but the real uptick starts in 2013, 2014, so kind of aligning with the data there. Interestingly though, and I guess a bit surprisingly, not only is nui fuku apparently an earlier term than nui pochi, it's also one that has outstripped it in popularity, although as you see, both are going up and up and up and up. So if you have a friend that has a nui of their oshi, I imagine these are terms that they would actually know. These are not the most obscure terms I've covered by far. And while, as you've already seen, a lot of different stores are jumping on this nui trend, providing various goods you can buy, including, of course, nui pochi. One that kept coming up in my data, and I promise you I'm not sponsored, I make no money off of wasting your time like this. This term suriko kept coming up time and time again. And what this is a reference to the store 3 coins, right? Surikoinzu, suriko. And this is apparently a kind of daiso, but a little bit higher. 3 coins meaning 300 yen for most things. For some reason, despite the times I've gone to Japan, I've actually never seen one of these, but they seem to be, more and more common. Anyway, 3 coins is positioning themselves as a massive distributor of nui related goods, including nui fuku. As you see, they sell lots and lots of nui fuku on their website and lots of nui pochi. They're not the only one in this game, but the fact that these major companies are not only jumping on this trend, but calling the things that they're selling nui fuku, nui pochi, etc., shows you that nui boomu is not just a thing that is happening in small circles, but something that Japanese companies are noticing and jumping on. And again, Japanese individuals as well are making and selling these things, so if you're really good at knitting, if you're really good at stitching, designing small clothing, etc., this might be a career option for you if you're looking for a side hustle. Or, of course, given that these prices are honestly less than I expected, again, I'm honestly not sponsored, but $6 or $7 for a nui pochi is less than I expected they cost. I hope this gives you at least a cheap option to start your nui katsu. Unfortunately for me here in my office, I don't really have any nui, so there's no way for me to do any... Oh, hello. You look good in a suit. Sorry, I need to go buy something.